Well, good night to everyone. We're on again for another exciting night on advancing the cause. You know what? Tonight we have such an interesting topic to talk about tonight. Tonight we're saying the whole country in a disarray. And you would agree with me. It's all kinds of madness happening. And you know what? If we're to recount since 2020, we recognize that this country in disarray. Who will know this, who know that, who think they know, who don't know. Madness. If you check again prior to 2015, disarray every time the PPP come around, the country in a disarray. But we'll talk more about that. But let me first say good night again and welcome to Advancing the Cause. I always have to give a shout out to my folks in Switzerland, those in Turkey, our Bajan family. Look, if I start calling all these places, y'all don't vex with me because I gotta leave out one or two. To everybody who watch us on Wednesdays, welcome to you again because without you, we'll have no show. And then we, of course, have those senior citizens who watch us all the time. Um, William Court, we've got Colbert Leander, we've got Sister Carol there, all of them on the west side. We've got some folks there way out in Berbice, on the quarantine in Berbice. We got plenty folks. Good night to all of you. I love you and I do love having you on this program. But of course, we've got to send out some birthday shout outs. We've just had 90th birthday, we had a 75th, we had a 60th birthday to all those who have celebrated birthdays between last Wednesday and today. Happy birthday to you. And I trust that you would have had quite an exciting time, or you're still having an exciting time. And I pray that God will continue to bless you with a little bit more of tolerance, some more wisdom, and some discernment. So you'll be able to see some of the snakes we have in the closets, the human snakes and the regular snakes. You'll see them and you'll be able to design a pattern of how you're going to get rid of them or how you're going to walk aside from them. So happy birthday to all those who celebrated birthday. Of course, I can't forget my two nephews. They celebrated their birthdays during this week. One was yesterday, one was 2 days ago. Aiden, Jaim, and Jason Free. I mean, I get them mixed up. I love you and happy birthday to you. And with that same vein, we want to send out condolences to those who would have lost their loved ones during the past week. More especially, we want to send out heartfelt condolences to the family of the Brewsters. That young lady, 24 years old, her life was just snuffed out like that. I mean, things got to be going haywire. Things got to be in a disarray for people to be doing these kinds of things. But we'll talk a little more about that. And of course, to Pastor, the family of Pastor David, we want to let you know that God is still God. And we pray that He is going to grant you the comfort you need at this time. But look, rest assured that as long as we're faithful, I sound like a preacher now, as long as we're faithful, then we are going to see our loved ones there on that great resurrection morning. And so, with that, I want to say again, good night and welcome to Advancing the Cause. Tonight, I don't want to talk plenty because I got two crusty looking young men. I mean, they're old, so don't get it, but they're just crisp. They're quite handsome. They are not available. They're already taken. So these two young men are going to be guiding us through the program. They're going to be talking with us, and we're going to talk about some real serious issues that we're having in our society. Issues that we cannot allow to just pass by. You know, the PPP, they got a trend of just sweeping things under the carpet. Everything under the carpet. Adriana's death, big nice, under the carpet. The drugs at the airport, the ones that we couldn't find that when was going off to Brussels and so on, under the carpet. We still can't find anybody. Marijuana, so under the carpet. Everything under the carpet. The rape allegation for Darumlal, under the carpet. Rape allegation, Pandit, where the girl hangs herself, under the carpet. Everything that's sweeping under the carpet. But we're going to talk about some more of that tonight. And so to start our conversation, I'm going to invite my two guests here tonight. Of course, Dr. Hines is going to be joining us at some point. We have Sister Aziz who's going to be joining us at some point as well. But I have these two wonderful young men here. Onyx and Dylan, my two sons. Welcome to Advancing the Cause.
Thank you for having me once more on Advancing the Cause.
Well, I know it's Dylan's first time on Advancing the Cause, but Dylan, we can be in for a ride tonight.
Yeah,
of
the
course.
Whole country in disarray.
Very much.
I don't know which one of you want to start first.
Dylan, since it's your first time.
Well,
Virgin talker.
yes, on this show. First of all, I heard you mention Switzerland and Turkey, so I just want to say gute Nacht and I Gedelag to you guys. So we definitely have a lot of disarray in our country right now, and there's so much that I want to talk about tonight, but I'm going to start with the BV Primary School.
Okay, so you think we should start with education first?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know, my favorite girl has been dumped over at local government. Apparently, she thought she was running away from
She's your
education
favorite girl?
and the
She's
schools.
my favorite girl too.
And so she went over there, but forgetting that schools in the outer regions would fall directly under her. So she ain't out of it.
Yeah.
So we can still be knocking glass and them kind of things.
Yeah.
So let's talk about education. But before we start talking about education, I'm sure Onyx would want to have some introductory remarks.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, I want to congratulate Dylan on becoming a regional councillor for Region 4. So big congrats, and you have a tall road, a tall building, and a long road ahead of you. So it's going to take a lot of work. Region 4 is one of the biggest regions. It's come with a lot of challenges, right? But yeah, I just want to say that, like you mentioned earlier, we have a government for the next 5 years that will put us, the people under the breadline, I would say, in a position where, you know, it's going to be very hard for us another 5 years. It's going to be harder, that we can't really, you know, put our hands on something that will get us out of that position in time to come. We really have to dig deep for something that will move us to another level, and removing the PPP is the only way. And we didn't do it in the last elections. I think we're gonna, you know, people get the saying, if you can't hear, you're gonna feel.
You're gonna feel.
Well, we're gonna feel.
And there's a saying that I'm hearing around 5 more years. But
I was just gonna
but
say,
them.
you know,
So you know,
people
you
are gonna get 5 more years. Of
The same thing,
what
and worse.
well you
exactly.
you deserve what you ask for.
Exactly.
You know, if that's what you want, then you get that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to deal with it at some point.
Yeah.
But you know, the sad thing about it is that frustration will kick in, crime will be increased,
Yes.
poverty will be increased, which will give rise to crime. Teenage pregnancies will increase, more school dropouts we are going to have, and so it will create problems for all of us.
Exactly.
And what do we do? How do we deal with this? And of course, you know, some people are going to take matters into their own hands because the police, you can't trust them. Because when you call and you make a report at the station, I've noticed it and I've seen it happen. They call the person and say, "Oh, Onyx call and says, I'll make a report and say so. So people don't trust the police anymore. So in terms of solving crimes, it's going to be an uphill challenge unless they want to revert to what happened early in the 2000s, where they were just shooting left, right, and center.
I don't think we need just that capability or that stamina.
Well, I know is she. Oh yes, well, you know, there's a new minister we got there. I know is she, but I know
somebody might be calling the shots.
The person, the little shark man might be the one thing. Shoot to kill. But let's talk about education. Education, we've learned, is the vehicle that can take us out of poverty. But when we look at what is happening in Guyana, I am not so sure. I know we had free education that was instituted from ever of old by Lyndon Forbes, Sampson Burnham. And I see we got some copycats now talking about free education again, as if it's something new they're bringing. But let's talk about education. And I'm going to start you off here. We've seen recently in the news, and the operator will show us, flash those pictures as we talk. Recently, lots and lots of our schools have been under the microscope.
Yeah.
We can start from there. Anybody?
Yeah. And Delon did mention BV Primary, and I would start it off to say that, this is an ongoing issue. The issue probably would have been happening since about around 2016, but it wasn't that much of a big issue. But it became more prevalent in 2020 when schools were out for COVID, and then that's when the pigeons came in and started, living there. And when the students and the teachers went back to school, that is when they realized that this is a serious issue. And since then, I would have highlighted the issue because the teachers made me aware of such, because that's my alma mater. I'm a former student of the school.
Okay. And
I was made aware of the situation. I made calls to the Ministry of Education. I called out Priya Manichan on it several times. Nothing was done. Nothing was said about it. In 2022, again, the teachers reached out to me and said nothing has still not been done to this for this issue. And Priya did mention on Facebook at one point saying that, how can we get rid of pigeons? I'm looking to find a way. And I replied to the post and I said, I hope that you're looking into the BV primary school issue, because this has been one of the first issue that would have, came up during COVID and all of these other things. And nothing was still done. And then again, the issue's here 3 years later, and we are still at the same position. I spoke to the HM prior to that. I made commitments because I was a guest speaker at the last graduation, and I said, HM, even if I'm not in government, I will commit to having this issue resolved. The region would have reached out, stopped the process where the teachers would have been sitting out of schools, and say that they're looking at the issue, never looked at the issue. And we're still at this position, And Dylan could take it from there, I can jump in back.
Yeah, so it has gotten worse since 2020, way worse. And now it's at the point where when you even enter the school, because we were there yesterday, within minutes, you start to feel sick in the environment. And I was wondering if it was my mind, playing tricks on me. But yeah, I realized my nose was stuffy, my throat started itching, within minutes of being in the building. And so it's become such a hazard now that, parents don't even want their children to go to the school anymore until there's a resolution. And what we found yesterday was that the ministry is only putting in temporary fixes. These
Correct.
Quick fix things. You have the mesh on the vents, and in a lot of cases, the mesh not even covering the vents properly. And there's not any. There was a wash down. And there wasn't any full sanitation of the building. And as Onyx said, he was there in his primary school days. And if you look at Onyx now, you can tell that was a long time ago.
Very long time ago.
But it has been, the building has been there for a very long time.
Yeah.
And
I just want to add also, and I've been in contact with several persons involved in this issue. And PTA president is one of those persons, and he just messaged me also. And he, at this point, he's saying that the teachers and the parents can't wait. I reached out to the ministry. Right. I reached out to the minister.
The same school?
The same school.
Again?
Same school.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what.
It's critical.
Yesterday, I visited that school because I remember mentioning this in Parliament in 2022 when teachers started reaching out to me. And of course, the Dutch from the thing and the arrogance.
Yeah.
Rather than us working together,
Mhm.
it's the arrogance.
Mhm.
So I continue to mention it. And then I recognized that last week, the parents couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And so the parents reached out again and they closed the school for 2 days.
Mhm.
Now we had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday was
Monday.
a holiday.
Yeah.
So actually 5 days we had. And I was expecting that there would have been a wash down of this school.
Cool, yeah.
One. Two, I expected that not only to put those little blocks there to block the openings in the classroom to prevent the pigeons from going in, but you would spray some sort of something,
repellent or something.
some kind of repellent to back off the pigeons.
Pigeons.
That was not done. So yesterday at the school, we had 35 pupils at school. Parents turned up, recognizing that there was no real change,
Mhm.
and so parents took their
Took their
children
children
home.
Right.
Like Delon said just now, when I got there after about 5 minutes walking around, I recognized that my throat was itching me, my
Mhm.
ears, my nose was burning, and that's from the urine and the
Mhm.
pigeon and the pigeon dung.
Yep.
As I walked there, we were standing on the corridor and you saw pigeon
Pigeons
nests.
flying.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I don't know
Yes, all
what
over.
exactly the contractors were there to do, whether just to put up those little blocks
Or
there.
get rid of the pigeon.
I would have thought that a contractor would say, look, we need to spray, we need to wash down, we need to do
Then-
this, we need to do that, and then let's observe what's happening. As I was standing there talking to the head teacher and a few other teachers, pigeons were flying in front of us, pigeons were flying
Yes.
behind us,
Yes.
pigeons were walking on the corridor as if to say, well, I live here, y'all
Yeah.
can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
And these are the conditions that teachers and the pupils
Pupils.
are expected to be under for 5 days,
Mhm.
5 hours, and 5 days per week. And we talk about one Guyana. But you see, when you have to compare what happens to some people whose children are going to
Went to
private
private
school, the
school.
environment in which
Yeah.
they are,
Right.
people want to jump off and talk
Yeah.
about all kinds of things. But we can't talk about one Guyana when you got 2 Guyanas.
Exactly. And you mentioned collaboration and compare. It would have been easier if ever since we would have collaborated, dealt with the issue, and move on. And then you talk about compare now. When you look at what happened at Maze, everybody
And
ran.
nations.
Yes, and everybody ran there when that issue with the fire happened,
Mhm.
but nobody is going there. And that is what the president is saying. Even a visit from the minister right now will solve everything a little, well, make everything a little better.
Because it will show that we care.
Exactly. That is what the message said
But
from
now
the
it's not elections time.
exactly.
It's not
They're not
elections
gonna
time.
go. No, but
It brings home the point that I usually make a lot. The PPP only cares about
votes,
friends, family,
friend
and favorites.
favorites.
Usually, persons who have access to private facilities, they only care about these spaces because the public is for those peasants over there.
Yeah.
The majority, and for me, it always comes down to the class issue. Working class people who are from poorer families, the PPP does not care about anything public, doesn't care about anybody who doesn't fit into their elite.
Their agenda is about privatization a great lot. So yeah.
But then if we were to look at it again, we have found oil. This is the country with the fastest growing economy.
Right.
And yet our children cannot sit comfortable in classrooms. I'm sure the operator is going to show us what happens in regions 1, in region 9, in Georgetown.
Yeah.
Operator is going to show, he's going to flash those pictures where even at this point in the 21st century, with all the oil money we got, we still got pit latrines in region 1 where the children have to use pit latrines. If you look at the conditions of the kitchen where they're doing the feeding program, where the food is being prepared.
Right.
If I were there,
it looks like a mechanic shop.
I wouldn't even eat it.
Exactly.
That's what they got to cook.
It looks like the back of the mechanic shop.
Well, that
where
too.
the
Waste oil and everything goes.
That's where they're cooking.
Yeah.
I mean, Priya was the minister just recently. Priya never went to these places. Priya never went to these places here.
She went during the election. She went to other places during the elections, like
During
And you know,
campaign season,
it's
right?
the hypocrisy in this
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
When you go and you plaster
That's it.
Facebook with all kinds of pictures to show this and that.
We
and
are the border
other.
here and the border there, and
You know,
if you know this,
and the craziness as Minister of Education, this is look at this, look at what we are seeing here.
yeah.
This is the kitchen in Region 1 at a school in Region 1.
It's atrocious. And like I told you just before we started the program, we went to Kaikon, and the area where the food is prepared, where they keep the utensils, it's like a mechanic shop. Like I said, it's just dirty, filthy.
Here is a school. This is a school we're looking at here. Floor half tiled. Where all them monies in education going? All them monies are going to the regions. Now that Priya is the Minister of Local Government and wherever else, I hope she gonna fix that.
I hope so.
I hope she gonna fix it, because we gonna call her out every single time. Too much monies are passing through these ministries, and we're not getting worth for monies. I heard what's her name? Sonia, the new minister, was telling, she made a big bold statement on Facebook where she said
she'll try her utmost best.
Well, outside of utmost best, she said teachers must be accountable. I want Sonia be accountable now. Sonia must be accountable now to the parents of BV Primary. To the parents of all those schools in Regions 1 and Regions 9, to the parents and the students at Brickdam Secondary.
That recently opened.
We just opened Brickdam Secondary. Y'all tell me how much monies they find it. Somebody find it and tell me how much monies the contractor got for that school, for Brickdam Secondary.
They got a lot of money.
And we're seeing here at Brickdam Secondary holes in the walls, which means they use some cheap prefab something, and we got holes in the walls at Brickdam Secondary. The outside the yard, the concrete already cracked. If you look at where the bin is situated, I mean, it's right on Brickdam, facing right that side on Brickdam. You have the bin. You have the bin there. Operator is going to show us those pictures just so you have the bins there.
286 million.
286 million. And don't talk about what's happening in that school. The furniture already breaking.
Sorry. The total contracted value was 560 million.
Oh, wow. Who's the contractor?
The contractor
who was?
Superstructure K&S General Construction
We gotta find out
several contractors.
We got to find out who those contractors related to. Who they're related to.
Meeting. We gotta get that.
We got to find out who these contractors are related to, because let me tell you what. Atlas Security is the security company that secures that place. They got a whole lot of Spanish-speaking security guards. So they understand half the way you're telling them.
I think it's for a lot of ministries now and government, public buildings, you see a lot of Spanish-speaking people working security.
But that's not all. At Brickdam Secondary, you have there was already a breakage at the canteen. Yes, the big fancy school that they're going to cut ribbons for. I think operator might be looking for the pictures. Yes, they already had breakage. The Spanish couldn't communicate properly, so
the police,
they didn't understand what the Spanish really saying.
After what the former Minister of Labor said,
that people lazy, right? We guys is lazy.
People are lazy.
So they're gonna hire the Spanish, all right. But they moved from where they were in East La Penitence and they're on Brickdam. First of all, I am convinced that Brickdam, where Brickdam is now, that building was not designed for Brickdam Secondary School. No. Because Brickdam Secondary School, they have 513 students, which would have given them 22 classrooms. You know how many classrooms they got there? 14. So they had to be cutting back on classrooms now to accommodate 14 and 6 and 2, 8 more classrooms. So you could understand what is happening there.
So it's a cramped school.
It's a cramped school. Secondly, we have, like I said, the prefab walls. So when the children, and there's no space really for the children to play. So I don't know how we're going to have this Friday afternoon P. It's shared again, the whole country in disarray.
I'm thinking about the closest ground, but there isn't the closest
No,
ground.
before you go there to think about the ground, it means you have to get transportation to take them there.
Exactly.
The school ain't got money. So where are we getting the transportation from? But go ahead, Dylan.
I'm trying to figure out what was going through the mind of whoever came up with that idea. The Friday PE idea.
The president.
What was going through his mind?
The president.
Yeah.
He probably was thinking about his time at IFLOT University. So
he had a lot of time.
He
had space.
Maybe he was thinking about Finland. But you know when a child goes to their neighbor and the neighbor house got something,
that is how they
want it in their house.
Yes.
Even when they can't afford it.
Exactly.
Even when they can't afford it and when it doesn't make sense in their house. And I think that's what this government is doing. They're feeling for ideas. They're just copying.
Trial and error up to now. 23 plus 5 plus this.
Yeah.
I mean, even coming back to the BV situation, it's still a trial and error. Because there is no forward planning. Yesterday when we were in BV2, and I mean this might be a little tangent, but we're coming back. We were driving out of the BV main road, and Onyx was telling me that there's a project for
the road and the
expansion of the road to 4 lanes. And I'm like, well, if from the line to the public road is being expanded to 4 lanes, there definitely has to be a plan for it to go further in. Because you can't just do 4 lanes and
he didn't know that.
Piece of road.
He didn't know that, but they're actually doing that.
And so in my mind, I'm like, this is completely reactive.
Yeah.
And the same situation with the schools, everything is reactive. There's no plan.
Nothing.
There's no sustainable plan. Let me qualify that. So yeah, it's just picking and
from all
fishing
over
for ideas all over the place.
Well, like I'm just seeing one of our viewers there saying that is the Spanish people that used to win the elections. But let's talk a little more about Brickdam Secondary. Brickdam Secondary, I was left in days this afternoon when I learned about all these issues that they're having. Doors are hanging.
Already.
Windows are losing, falling off.
Wow.
They have a whole lot of plugs there, points where you have wires hanging. They finished doing that. The roof leaking. Rainfall, the yard flooding. Just finished doing this brand new school. How much millions again? Let's tell you.
It's about 700 million, approximately 700 million.
Poor ventilation. Light switches for the classrooms are in other classrooms. So if I'm in classroom A, my light switch is in classroom B. So one wicked child just got to decide to be wicked in the afternoon and turn off the lights. So the whole classroom be in darkness.
Yeah.
We got that happening. Of course, the auditorium flooding. And you know what? The contractor, after he was fully paid, the man said, hi, it's 5 months I got for y'all. Tell me about any faults they got. And the time for that done passed. So now they have to use monies from central ministry to remedy all the issues that they are experiencing at the Brickdam Secondary School. Could you imagine that? And we had a big gala opening. Operator, sure you go find the picture. Big gala opening. The president come up
hugging up and things.
Speech. And we got roof leaking.
Yeah.
Auditorium flooding. If you see the garbage in front of right on Brickdam, they got the garbage there. I mean, what craziness is this? Yeah. And so all of these things are just hurry up things because they wanted to put on a big show. You see what we are doing? How many schools we would have built in 5 years? Priya
said that many times.
Priya, I don't like to tell you this thing, but you're dunce. Very dunce.
That's your friend.
You're very dunce.
That is your friend, man.
Because to force work that is not ready. That's being dunce. Now you have to rectify that, and you have to pay additional monies to rectify that. Because the contractor said, me 5 months grace period, done pass. So, don't come to me, don't tell me nothing. And I mean, when the keys for the school. There was no proper handing over of the keys for the school, even though they had a big formal opening. The school didn't open yet, because they're ready. The yard is not even ready because you around by the canteen area and so on. You still have sand there. It's not properly. You don't have concrete there. And a big tall building like that, it is crazy. The toilets already, they have problems. The furniture breaking already. So it's just every time is a somebody gives somebody a something, and they take somebody get back a little drawback, and you get back a little drawback. So the 500 and wherever was for the school, dying spend on the school. That's why we have the problem at Bamia. The country in disarray, the whole country in disarray. But I'm not sure if you want to talk anything else about what is happening at other schools. I know the operator would have shown us those pictures, and operator, maybe you can run those pictures so our viewers can see that when we talk about stuff here, we don't just talk. We have the evidence to show you all that is happening at some of these schools. Now, let me list some of these schools for you. We got New Campbellville Secondary.
I just want
we come to that.
That was it. While the operator is going to run those pictures.
First of all, the situation with the two students that created that AI porn video. I don't think, we've had a lot of wild things happen to teachers over the years, but I don't think it ever reached to this point. And now, even to the point of going to the teacher's home to pelt squid and and so on at her house. This is a new level of violence against teachers. This is a new level of attack on teachers. And the thing about it is that, from what I gathered, the teacher went to the police. The police said, well, when the video was made, the police said it's a welfare matter. Went to welfare, nothing happened. Then the situation with the squibs, and still nothing, despite police reports. And this is lending to, again, the PPP's anti-working class disposition. They care so much about the average Guyanese that they would allow the system to work against us. Against, and make no mistake, the working class and the poor are the majority of the country. It's not a case of where, this is just a small group of people. This is the majority of Guyanese go to work every day. That's no secret. And so I want to take this opportunity, before I continue on the actual matter, to let working class Guyanese know, listen, there ain't no hope for you from the PPP. Nothing in common to you.
They don't care about you.
They don't care about you. All the promises of riches and wealth and everything, all the big oil budgets, all the nice fancy PR stunts, big fancy buildings and everything else, it's all stunts, right? Don't be fooled. The only people benefiting from the PPP's governance are their elites, their friends, family favorites, those in that class. So y'all need to catch sense by 2030 and even before, because local government is next year. But I want to reiterate that the fact that a teacher cannot get justice, what is going to happen? These are the kind of children, and maybe this is what the PPP wants, these are the kind of children that turn out to be the criminals of the future. If you leave this sort of behavior unaddressed in the school system, when these children come out of school, and if they feel so emboldened during their school years to be able to find the teacher's house, it shows you these are criminal minds. Finding the teacher's house to pelt her house with squibs. It's a new level. And this particular generation coming up, the Gen Alpha, in high school, right? I think the Gen Zs are now, are now phasing out of high school, the last set of Gen Z, and then we have the Gen Alpha coming up. And if we think the Gen Z is very bold and erratic, Gen Alpha is going to be 10 times Gen Z.
Yeah.
And this is a classic example.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if the ministry, the minister talk about teachers must be held accountable, what about the students? We
I was
need
just
to
about to
teach
say that.
students that their actions will have consequences.
Exactly.
Especially if their actions are going to harm other people, right? And if they want to do things and get away with it, do things to harm others and get away with it and not face the consequences. Maybe that's what the PPP want, because that's how the PPP does operate.
Well, but
You know?
I'm really, really angry because this is a female teacher
Mhm.
Right.
whose
Mhm.
face is out there on social media. And you
Right.
know why I'm angry? Not because it's a female teacher,
Teacher.
because Minister Sonia sit down
As a
there
female.
and zip your mouth up.
Mhm.
She know to talk about how many teachers are absent, but in this instance, not a word.
Yeah.
You know, none of them have reached out to this teacher to offer any bit of counseling to this teacher. None of them.
Nothing.
It's the
But
same
they
thing that
expect
happens.
this teacher to return to work just like that.
Uh-huh.
When her face would have been shared all across the school in this
Mhm.
video to
Mhm.
other schools, to other persons, adults, all over the place, this teacher's faces. I mean, come on, a teacher, a 31-year-old teacher, do you expect her to just return to school like that?
Yeah.
No.
And they
No way.
say that 30 to 40% teachers are absent from school, and they wonder why.
Exactly.
So
This is the exact
you
reason
see why? You see
You
why?
wonder why.
Huh? When children could turn up at my house and pelt my house and light squibs and throw it at my house,
Mhm.
and then you're telling me that I must come the next day to face these children.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what? Before you go there, Onyx,
Mhm.
I want Sonia to take a day or two and spend it at New Campbellville
Oh,
Secondary.
yes.
Onyx, you
Oh,
and I
yes.
and Dylan, we can
Oh,
we can
yes.
accompany her.
I would
I
love
want her
to.
to
Definitely would
go
love
there
I
and
would love
sit
to.
in the grade 7, grade 8,
Mhm.
grade 9, grade
Good.
10, grade 11.
I passed there many
Stay-
times, and I wonder.
I want her to go there and spend 2 periods in a class.
Mhm.
Teach in a grade 7, teach in a grade 8, teach in a grade 9, and then she will understand what
Mhm.
teachers go through. Not only at New Campbellville, you
But other
got
schools.
Queenstown,
Yeah.
you got Charlestown, you got Dolphin, you
Mhm.
got Lodge
Mhm.
Secondary, you
Oh,
got
boy.
all them schools all over the place.
Mhm.
I want her to take time off and go spend a day or two in some of those schools, and she would understand what teachers go through. You know, they talk about teachers get holidays and teachers get paid for the holidays, but you don't know what teachers go through. But Onyx, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was about to say that if I think the Ministry of Education needs to ask themselves, the minister needs to ask herself, am I making the well-being of the students and the teachers better? How am I doing that? How can I do that? Because if you don't make that a priority, then you will create an environment where it's not conducive for learning. It's not conducive for teachers to be there, because teachers will now fear their life. We have not only teachers being abused, but students, and there's a lot of bullying that is happening in schools.
That's true.
I even went to BV school the other day with a parent where she said a student just run up and push her daughter to some wall, right? And she went to the school just to make the teachers aware of it, because she said the girl said she don't even know the boy, and he's in a higher class than him. And when they went to the school, they confronted the boy. He said he don't know the girl, he just pushed the girl. So you have a system and an environment where they're kids, but you have to be able to manufacture these kids in such a way that there's another saying that charity begins at home.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
School is home, but the Ministry of Education needs to show some show some sort of involvement in the lives of these children. Go out to the schools, have your what you call it, the regional
Education officers.
The education officers go out and meet with the students, talk with them, and see what is affecting them. Mental health is a
they
big thing.
themselves frighten the students. They themselves frighten some of the students.
Yep.
But the thing is, it goes far deeper than that. Our children watch television. They watch. They're on their phones and they're on Facebook, and they're seeing the bullying from the top come down. You remember the 5:30 meeting?
Yeah.
My favorite part was Priya Devi Manik Chan. This isn't yours? Didn't you know this? And so when our children see that, they practice the same
But you
thing.
mentioned earlier that with the student, the thing that happens currently, that happens in Parliament also, because you have ministers calling people this name and that name, and they got
dildo to offer them too.
Exactly. Women ministers don't stand up for their women folk.
No.
Even if you're on the other side, I think you should show some self of care.
And the thing is, the system is broken. Discipline is out the door, and that has been caused because of Priya Manik Chan. Priya Manik Chan came there and decided that she is going to do away with the rules of the schools. So she's saying, "Oh, hairstyle doesn't affect learning." In one aspect, for some, yes. But for the majority, it does. Because when you look at what is happening in some of our schools, the girls are going to school with long braids past their knee, almost touching their knees.
Longer than the teachers.
And you tell the teachers you shouldn't wear all kinds of colors as nail polish because it's going to distract. And you're telling them they shouldn't put any kind of color in their hair because it's going to distract. But you're allowing our boys and our girls to come to school with all kinds of weave in their hair, with all kind of thing, with their hair open up. And now we got the real thing now, the fine pants. In school yesterday at Campbellville, 5 boys, I had to tell them, I said, come love, come stand here. One, he had to take off about 5 pins on both sides, pin up the pants. I said, no man, that's not the style. The other 4, the pants stitch up. So I said, well, we can lose it out today. And so, I got a pair of scissors and I gave them, and so they cut at the bottom, the thread at the bottom, and I said, just pull the thread, they'll loose out. And some of them, they pulled the thread. Another one said, Miss, I have to go and take off this pants. I said, well, I'll escort you to one of the to the staff room, and you'll take off your pants and you can cut it yourself. And the thing is, while we expect a lot from our parents, in many instances, some of our parents don't see when the children are leaving home for school because they're out hustling out there. They got to go out there and hustle. And so when the children come to school, we're expected to be that second parent. But we cannot be that second parent when you, the minister, talking all kind of foolishness. Well, you were the minister then at education, talking all kind of foolishness when the welfare department is not fully equipped to deal with these issues. And so the children just have a free pass. Again, the whole country in disarray. What we can do? We got Monterey Post Primary, where the head teacher is at home because her foot is fractured, her ankle is fractured. Pigeon infestation. We got Port Kaituma Nursery, Port Kaituma Primary, bat infestation. We got Campbellville. Well, I know it's what kind of infestation at Campbellville. We got
AI infestation.
We got schools under quarantine. All kinds of craziness. As a matter of fact, today, it seems as if this government, they only like to react. They're not proactive. So today at Quarantine Comprehensive Secondary in Region 6 at Port Moran Village, the teachers decided to sit out today. They've been crying for help all the time since the beginning of the school year. It happened before. And so today, I guess it went overboard. They couldn't take it anymore. No electricity in the building. The home ec department, last Friday when they left for school, there was no electricity. So everything that was in the refrigerator spoiled. All the chicken and so on that the children bought to do their practicals, everything spoiled. So when they turned up yesterday, whoa, no electricity in the grade 7 block. The junior staff room, which houses 660 teachers, no electricity. The grade 7 block is 175 students. The agri block, the IT block, the science lab, no electricity. And then they got water woes too. No potable water in school, no running water in school. Could you imagine in this 21st century, with the $1 trillion budget that we have here, the teachers got, of course, fastest growing economy. The teachers got to go outside of the toilet by the standpipe to fill up a bucket with water to flush the toilet.
So sound like a 10-year
thing. It's not Nancy's story. It's real. So the teachers decided they're going to sit out today. Man, a whole army turned up at this school. Regional executive officer, this body, that body, engineer, GPL, that, everybody turned up today. Wait, that's what we got to do every time.
So you have to go to the extent.
You got to take serious action before it gets done.
Yeah.
But is that what we call progress?
No, it can't.
It can be. Being reactive is not progress in any way.
Yeah. And you're talking about that. I think that's what the president of the GTA, of the BV PTA, will do tomorrow. He didn't tell me, but I know that is what he's planning to do because they had planned that earlier this week. And
I mean, it is crazy.
You know what?
Before you go there, we hear them talk about contact hours, but nobody is counting all the loss of contact hours that our children are experiencing now.
Exactly.
Nobody care about that.
Exactly. You know what is not progressive at all? Talking about how much teachers get in, talking about the paid leave, and so on. And it seems like an effort to guilt trip teachers.
Yep. And to put parents against teachers when teachers.
Parents and students against teachers even more. So when the minister does these kind of things, it enables the attacks on teachers even more.
Okay, right? So you get them more pay.
So, Sonia, you're not being progressive. This is not progress. Progressive politics is always pro-worker. Progressive politics is paying a living wage. I get very upset about this because this touches my core.
It does.
Teachers do not get a living wage. This is no secret, right? Teachers need to be paid a living wage, right? So you can't come out here and be telling teachers that, oh, y'all getting paid leave, paid holiday, this, that, the other. At the end of the day, will you get in? I hate when people who are getting the world come to try and gaslight the little people who are getting the scrapings. I hate it with a passion. That is not progressive. That is regressive. So we can't talk about progress in the context of this kind of situation.
I don't know, but we'll have to get to this one because I must touch on Kokwani Secondary School. Under Priya's stewardship, is plenty schools born. Priya get the belt as the Minister of Education for born in schools. The belt for 20 children dying in a furnace.
In a fire.
Priya got the belt for pit latrines. Priya got the belt for bat infestation, pigeon infestation, because it was during her tenure and she did nothing about it. All she know to do is talk about who's sitting in backbench in Parliament and who's sitting where and who is sitting where. Priya did absolutely nothing. So I think the president was right, you know, when he moved, well, it's not she built the schools, the contractor built those schools, but all them schools that they built, all of them got faults. So again, Priya failed. Priya failed. If you were to say that, Kokwani Secondary School, that school was burnt during the holidays. To date, only the grade 11 are at school to date. And where they have placed there to house them, I am sure operator is going to be able to send that, to show us that in a few, because yes, operator is going to send that to us, show us that on the screen. Yes, operator is showing us. This is Kokwani. Rainfall and that's what happening there. Plenty water. That's where the children got to be. And this is the progress we're talking about. So my question now is, Sonia, Priya, because you're not out of it, because you're the local government minister. So it falls directly on you. When the children of Kokwani go into school, when they go into school, hurry, quick time, y'all could have find somewhere for the children at Mays. I have nothing against the children and the administration at Mays, but just the same way y'all were ready to act for the people in Kokwani. They deserve better.
And
Watch the kind of foolishness. Look, that's the kind of foolishness we're having.
More importantly, act when it is your duty, because it's not your duty as a minister to act for Mays. That's a private school.
Exactly.
Well, maybe you didn't notice, sir. But where our children been going? Where our children been going? Where our children been going? Private schools.
Again,
which means that you know exactly that they got plenty loopholes in the public system. So you're not sending your children there, except for if they're now going to Queen's College. Man, Onyx, you know the thing. Except for if they're going to Queen's College. But it is disgusting that with a $1.3 trillion budget, we still got to go through these things. Let me say this here and now. Under the PNC, under Burnham stewardship, you had nothing like this. Nothing like this. And let me advocate, Sonia and Priya, that we should cluster our schools and have a contractor or two attached to these schools. So every month they can do checks and they fix them. Don't wait for the big things to happen. Cluster the schools and have a contractor or two attached to these schools so they can do all the maintenance work. But they ain't gonna take that, because when you gotta do them little maintenance, cut a pipe fixing the next piece, cut a little thing left, cut a piece of board fixing, you can't get no big money from there. You can't get no big drawback.
And they can't get the kickbacks, exactly.
They can't get the big drawbacks. But I want to put sense in your head, Priya and Sonia. And if the president's living, oh God, it's why they call him our presidents. It's the president.
Let's get to you.
Because of some presidents I hear you say, well, cashew is the main ingredient for Coca-Cola. This country, God, this country in disarray. I know cashew is the main ingredient for pepper pot. Not coconut rice.
We got put coconut no more.
I want to tell y'all, take my stupid advice. Cluster schools and put them, when you cluster the schools, put one or two contractors to be in charge of doing the maintenance work. So we're gonna have schools out, we're gonna have parents protesting and all these things because y'all got systems. We got systems in place. Put that system in place. We had it before under the coalition. We had it before under the PNC. Y'all don't like copy certain things, but certain things y'all like copy and rebrand as if it's y'all own. Just like how you're talking about free education as if yes, y'all bring it. Copy this idea that we giving y'all and do the thing. But as we move on, like we said, the country in disarray. Why I see a thing today, make I want to crack up. I see the both ministers of agriculture and all their soldiers
planting chips.
Hyping up planting chips. Operator, I don't know if you got a picture of His Excellency David Granger. We got big up this man right now.
Yeah. There's a copycat government.
This was the people who talk about Granger making this economy low life economy. Hey, we got big up David Granger.
They almost made me want to stop eating planting chips. I was
because
very
how these people
convinced.
talk about planting chips as if planting chips for the poor people.
My God.
And now I see these people embracing planting chips. You know what I waiting for now? Let me bring up I want y'all show Mustafa too after we show His Excellency David Granger. Man, look, this was a man with a vision for this country. This was the man who had the plan for this country. But you know what happened to them? The things can't pass, the cocaine can't pass, the this can't pass, the that can't pass. So they want David Granger in his government. But They cuss out this man with plantain chips. Even Mustafa talk about it in Parliament. That this is what they want to do. They want to take a plantain chips. And it's how we just, it's not how it is, not the plantain chips, it's how we say it. Them never talk about plantain chips, they have a plantain chips thing. And now this man, look this man.
I don't want to look at him.
Operator, I don't know if you will find a picture with Pandit, the bandit, the rapist, the wherever. Find a picture with Pandit too. The two of them embracing plantain chips. But you know what I'm waiting for now? I'm waiting for the cook-up rice, the black pudding,
Everything
and the dark food, the dark food packaging, because these were things that they were bomb-based Granger for. Operator, I want Granger picture on this screen, right? We gotta pick up this man. This man, this is the man. Just the same way they beat elephants Burnham for rice flour, and now they're picking up rice flour. You see, these people ain't got no vision, you know, no vision whatsoever. His Excellency David Arthur Granger, I take my cap off to you, sir. You had a vision for this country, and that their plantain chips would have generated generational wealth. That's awesome.
Yeah. I know people that selling plantain chip who buying KR with the plantain chip money.
But look, we importing them plantain chips.
We importing the plantain chip.
We importing, and these people talk down this plantain chip. Somebody, anybody, if you can get on to Mr. Granger, you tell him I say, big up. Because copycat to Mustafa and Pandit, I don't ever get Pandit right name. They talking about plantain chips and they're embracing it and they can spend monies.
But you know, I notice a pattern, a very revisionist pattern. It's everything, apart from it being, copycat behavior, is like anything that is notable, anything that is good for the economy, good for Guyana, they can
push it aside for now.
It once it's coming from us.
Yes.
They only, it got to be their name on it. When Barnum did the rice, he was against
the Indians and all that.
Yeah. And now they're doing it was it 2023? Something around then?
Yes.
Right, 2 years ago. Right?
And Irfan Ali was so proud to go to that exhibition where they were doing the rice flour thing, and you're like, these people had good. This is not the same people who cuss out about rice flour. And look how they're bigging it up. You remember coconut oil too, when Barnum would start telling us about making coconut oil and making the palm oil. And they cuss out all of these things. The other thing they cuss about, Barnum used to have us lining up for to get some ration. And look what they got you doing now. They got you lining up to collect cash grants. Lining up and fainting away to collect cash grant. They got the old people lining up to collect their pension and falling down.
When we tell them to direct deposits and stuff.
When you tell them
they might do it the next time.
I don't know if you remember, but I think it was 2021, not too long after COVID. Not food hampers. They had lining up for sugar.
Yes. The sugar shortage. That is correct.
Yes. So under Irfan Ali's presidency, people were lining up for food. Not just Barnum.
We did talk about it.
But the thing is, Barnum wanted to make us so self-sufficient, so independent. Now we would have still been named the breadbasket of the Caribbean. We would still have been supplying food here, there, and everywhere. And things would have been so good for us.
We probably would have been the breadbasket of the world by now.
By now.
You remember we had the glass factory. We had we used to
have every factory, chow mein factory, everything.
We had the chow mein factory,
coil
factory, Sonata textile mill. Sonata, Bobby Ramroop or Ramsroop, whatever his name, like where we used to churn out, where we used to use the cotton to make cloth. You had the school uniform. We used to assemble. Remember, we used to assemble y'all too young to know butter.
I know about that. We know about that. We used to make vehicles just like you said. My grandfather told me about that.
With the box, right?
All kinds of things we had here. And the PPP just came and threw everything out.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Everything out.
Privatization.
We got the Demerara Harbor Bridge that threw it out, and the name one.
I don't call that name. BG, BJ, D.
No, I vex with them because they give the man his correct name. It's Sue Barrow Jagdeo or Barrow
Sue Jagdeo. All right. I would live with that one.
Sue got to go in there.
Sue, yeah.
Well, especially because Sue got to go in there, especially because of the Chinese.
Saying Billy.
Well, all of that.
You know, I hate when people put the names on other people's work.
Yeah,
I hate it.
But you see,
because hold on, because when Barnum
built
that harbor bridge,
it was Barnum built
was us
Guyanese
who built it.
Yes.
And he didn't name it them.
Name it after himself.
Exactly.
But you don't want to jump off and say, but he named Linden after, and then he named Melanie after his daughter, and Roxanne Burnham Garden
created those things.
But here, man, those schemes were
self-help. Exactly.
Not them stupidness when they give you now.
Chinese coming and build it.
With them houses breaking up, even before the tenants saying the people ain't go in the house, there was big crack, the roof falling in, and it's millions of dollars, you know. I mean, at this time, Guyanese should be getting free house lots. Let me don't talk too hard. They're gonna copy it.
We said it in our manifesto. We said it in our campaign. They will copy
it from us.
Give them 2 years. Give them by elections.
Because if you're talking about young professionals, how much is the salary of a young professional? Many of them don't carry $120,000.
Nope.
Exactly.
So where are you getting the monies from for buy $8 million house?
Exactly.
They're giving you house lot, 1.3 million. You got paid on half now. They call you, and in 3 months you pay the other half. Where are you finding it from?
You will live in debt, your children will live in debt, and your grandchildren will live in debt.
Maybe that's what they want.
Yeah.
We are getting a whole lot of monies from the oil proceeds, but yet we borrowing every time. You notice every 2 days we borrowing, and what we doing with these monies? What we're not paying teachers, we're not paying public servants, we're not paying the police. We give them some false promotion the other day. I don't even know if it's
black or
and if they can get paid for it yet. But I see them police by the way their fancy bro.
Look very white and clean.
For them, you know. But the thing is, you're not looking to pay your working class. So where these monies going? I mean, we got to check this thing out to see if somebody got a bank account in China. In Dubai. I hear Glenn Lal, not Glenn Lal, JFK Lal called the other day. GHK called for the FBIs to come in.
I would love that.
Well, I know they're here, but they got some more gotta come.
Yeah.
But again, like we're saying, the whole country in disarray.
Yeah. That person said APNU had the best manifesto, and the people ignored it.
And that is so true.
Yeah.
We had the best manifesto, but again, the country in disarray. We're going on with Auntie Claudette and Chico. It's already wrong.
You want to go first?
Chico on a different level right now because
stupidity.
Yeah, they're on that level.
I saw the statement from Ganesh, and I was like, well, it makes sense because all of a sudden. You know,
before you go, operator, please please show us a picture of Auntie Claudette.
Oh God.
We want to see Auntie Claudette tonight. Somebody call Auntie Claudette and tell she I said good night. Good night. It's already wrong with Auntie Claudette. Auntie Claudette will convene no meeting because she said, well, they ain't got a new opposition leader, and then
let she convene it with Mr. Norton. He's still the opposition leader.
You're right.
He's still the opposition.
So she's Auntie Claudette very wrong. She got to take that statement back.
Yeah.
We have an opposition leader.
Exactly. Until the new one is sworn in.
Not yet been convened.
Right.
So we got an opposition leader.
Right.
And then Auntie Claudette says she can't have the meeting because we ain't got no opposition leader, and they're supposed to have 3 new commissioners, so they can't convince any meeting. But Auntie Claudette ain't understand what she be saying. Is age getting to Auntie Claudette? Or I gotta sing this song and buy with me for sure.
I want to Shane understand her if it's on purpose, because I notice a pattern with these people. The rules has changed
conveniently. Selectively. Selectively. When it favors them, they change it.
But you see, one of the things that Auntie Claudette didn't realize, Auntie Claudette didn't understand Vincent did not buy his certificates from anywhere. He worked hard for them.
Right.
So Vincent said to her, if we not legal, you not legal.
You not the chairman.
You not
Exactly.
legal
That's
either
right.
if we not
Exactly.
legal.
Because you an opposition leader appointment.
Exactly.
Yes. So the opposition leader got to submit now 6 names to the president, and the president will select one. So you out too. Auntie Claudette, retract the statement. Retract that statement, Auntie Claudette. Auntie Claudette, you want to come and sing two Jesus song for you? Jesus loves the little sheep. You can sing for sheep.
Yeah,
No,
but
you can't sing the little children song.
Oh, she behave like a little girl.
But you see, the thing is, it starts from top down. If the government don't act and convene parliament, but they get the ministers running around doing the work, but the work can't be done if the government, and I think we were discussing this with the leader, Mr. Norton, just over the weekend. The parliament consists of the opposition and the government, and the government also is the legislative, the judicial, and the executive. But however, if the opposition doesn't play a part where they represent their electorates, then we can't have a government. And it starts from the top down. The government needs to convene parliament so that the business of Guyana can continue. The business of Guyana can't continue if the ministers alone running around and the opposition doesn't have a portfolio to say, well, I'm going to look at this and that. No.
But you know what? I also remembered and kept in mind that budget season
it's soon approaching, November, and they're gonna call it then.
And listen, no, because I have the suspicion that they're gonna hold this thing out so that only the ministers and their people can have their hand in the budget. All of that crossed my mind,
Okay,
these people wicked like that.
That's smart like that.
That's correct, because they have a majority.
So it's a whole lot of confusion, and that's why I said the country in disarray. The whole country in disarray. I saw who is it, Desiree? Somebody was saying, "Good night to you, Elizabeth. We are happy that you're here."
Hi, Elizabeth.
I think we have Miss Aziz. Is she on with us? Okay, good. Now, we saw just the other day cocaine bus here, marijuana bus, so this bus, so cocaine strap onto some trolley at the airport, something. But we ain't hearing anything else about that.
It's them people, friends, family, favorites.
But I just saw them again, and we got to talk about everything.
Exactly.
I just saw one of our former MP who was busted with marijuana.
Plastered all over Facebook.
All over Facebook.
Yeah.
And we up to now we can't find, even though in Brussels, I think it is, they knew who was the consignee and what. They got all the information. They saw the video and they got the video and everything that Barajagio said. The cameras weren't working here, but the people in Brussels, they saw everything. But up to now, we ain't know who the person was that was shipping that, whose name was there. We ain't hearing anything about that. How these things just work so convenient?
Convenient government, convenient.
So here it's unfortunate that what's his name, Devin Sayers, he would have found himself in that position. As a citizen, we ought to be law abiding, and if you know that doing a couple of things will create discomfort, and every wrong action has consequences. Even right actions got consequences. But if you're going to choose the wrong path, then you will have to face the consequences. But the thing is, we are finding all of these things, and we know all of these things, and we branding these people's faces and so on. But certain people's face we're not branding. I remember the young man who killed that seven-year-old child at Parika Salem Primary she was attending. Up to day like today, we see who's the young man. You don't even know if the young man went to court, because it is said that he is friends of, and they got money. We see that, but other things we see in radar. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times all day up all the time we see in these kinds of things. So indeed, this country is in disarray.
Total
I don't know
disarray.
if operator found that, but operator, could you play the other slide that we have here, because we got to talk about some of the disarray in this country and
Sports.
madness in this country.
Oh my.
Y'all know this, y'all operator. We got a favorite girl that we want to show. Not only praise a favorite girl, but this girl, y'all think she need mental health? Is mental health on the rise?
I think that's part of it. I think
it's a bigger issue than that, though.
I think what the situation with Adriana, I think that affected her mentally, because
you think
I
with those crazy
Not-
comments that she was making?
Not in a
not in
positive
a positive sense,
yeah.
but in the sense of
bringing out other traits.
the allegation of her being linked.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So
Okay.
to what happened to Adriana, might have played a part. Being involved in that kind of activity can definitely take a toll. But that aside, I mean, there's clearly deep-seated hatred in this woman
For black
people,
Afro-Guyanese.
right?
Yeah.
And I mean, God knows how many other people feel this way, including some black people.
Yeah.
Self-hating. But the fact remains that the system does nothing about this. There's little to no consequence for racism. There's little to no redress for persons who are affected by racism. In some countries, you can't even utter a racial slur.
You can't even say black.
And if I were to say a couple of things here,
Mm-hmm.
Anil Nandalal gonna jump off and he consider the police should come and collect me because I'm inciting violence.
Mm-hmm.
But this
it's
here is crazy, where you have this girl, Jennifer Ali, writing all kinds of foolishness on Facebook. I noticed today the ERC
For a second time.
I mean, how many times you calling her to tell her what?
And for her to do an apology.
And the last time, what? For her to do another apology? Because usually the system should follow that once she's called in and there's an attempt at mediation, if there's a clear case of racial incitement, then you face the consequences.
Exactly.
But she faced no consequences.
But let's look at it again. Baby Skello apologized,
and he was charged.
but he was still charged and placed before the court and imprisoned.
And then the thing about it is that what Baby Skello put out wasn't against a race.
It was against.
It wasn't even against.
It was
against anything.
Yeah.
It was just.
Maybe he said didn't know that the name Lakshmi was referred. God was referred to like that.
It was his way, and I don't fault him entirely because he grew up. If you're creating a culture in a country of lewdness, right, then a lot of young men, especially coming from that kind of background, feel that this is a way to appreciate women, right? They don't see it as degrading, and so that is his way of venerating a goddess.
Yeah.
And in that sense, yes, it's derogatory, right? But why is it that a society still sees it fit to charge somebody for blasphemy against a god? In this day and age, people always cuss the Christian God, the Muslim God, all the time, right? And there is no consequence, right? And publicly, because they're going to want to say, oh, yeah, Baby Skello is a public figure and his content is very public, right? But Baby Skello did not commit any racial incitement. It was merely something sung about a goddess, an invisible being, And here we have somebody who is inciting hatred against an entire race of people. The second,
directing it to people specifically,
right,
too.
specifically, and the second largest race in Guyana, right? And nothing is being done.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. It shows that the government, the PPPC government, still does not see people of African descent as equal to everybody else.
And they're a part of the issue.
And they are a part of the issue.
Thank you very much.
If you cannot address all forms of racism equally, then it shows your bias. And it means that all of the Afro-Guyanese in the PPPC
are just window dressing.
Just window dressing.
Just window dressing. When you look at the way our teachers were treated, look at the way our teachers were treated. And they were treated that way because the majority of them are Afro-Guyanese in the teaching profession. You look at the way other public servants are being treated as against how the workers at GAU are being treated, the shoulda workers. You notice?
Yeah.
Vast difference. As soon as they make some noise, they're ready to reach out to them to offer this and to offer that. And the teachers who are the molders of the nation, you're spiting them because of who Coretta McDonald? Well, too bad for y'all. Y'all gonna get plenty more sleepless nights. If it's because of Coretta, you spiting 14,000 plus teachers, including some of your own followers, your supporters.
Right.
But it's absolute craziness.
And we say that the government is a part of the issue because they allow their own people say these things. You have during the campaign, Leno Craig went up on stage and said lewd things about women. You have all these ministers who said these things in the past, made all kind of lewd remarks to women, and they nothing.
You're saying the thing right, Onyx. when Leno said what he had to say there, from
everybody
erection
laughed.
to resurrection, even the president clapped.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're part of it.
If we could get clip to show and big laugh.
It's crazy.
It's well Leno there though, because I still waiting. Maybe the register finish marking. He like Mark Light probably.
I just hope he paid the woman for Shakar that he hit because he running from the courts.
Oh yes.
and the PPP and LPNE. So you see what's happening
you
here.
Notice what I've been saying all along. You check all those who went over to the PPP.
They got something
all of the bandits.
Yeah.
They got all kind of thing behind them. Who ain't got drinking problem, who ain't beating their wife, who ain't got land issue,
you got a lot of addresses.
Who ain't got
That is why Francis was saying today that if Devin hold a red cup, a heavy red cup,
you don't get off. That's correct.
I don't want to go there to say that about Devin. The Devin must hold a red cup.
I don't think he should.
No, but we get the point.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But let's look at this one. Yes, that girl Jennifer Ali. She's very disrespectful. I ain't gonna say the word that Melissa
Go in the comments section.
But she's very disrespectful. Operator, if you can show us the next clip, right? This country really.
President Irfan Ali on Saturday in a 6-hour-long meeting, and he was telling me that he wanted to use some of our athletes to push sports in Guyana. Actually, while we have these legends here, so we are going to use our legends to push sport and tourism in our country going forward.
So here we're seeing President Ali going over to Trinidad.
Same thing that the one was talking about.
We got national athletes here, but perhaps our athletes, they're not good enough? Or because they look like me and you? Which one?
If it's cricket.
But even if they go to Trinidad, the athletes still look similar. But the thing about it, I don't think that might be part of the issue. But I think it's generally not wanting to invest in our own.
Exactly. That is it. That is the issue.
That is the PPP's modus operandi in every sector. They rather bring nurses from other countries than pay our own nurses.
Pay them, house them.
Simple, you know.
paying the airfare from wherever they're coming from, bringing them here, housing them, feeding them, and you're paying them. They're bringing truck drivers all.
I remember in a couple of years past, every couple minutes you're driving on the East Bank Road and you're seeing a junior Sammy truck.
Yes.
You seen
and
them
they're
now?
going crazy down the road.
Yeah, like they own the road.
I mean, you going to National Hardware, you going to Monishwar downtown, you going to some of those stores. There's a whole lot of Spanish women and men you see working in these stores. What happened? Joe Hamilton had said that Guyanese lazy. Well, it's lazy Guyanese people lazy. That's why he their way right for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's part and parcel of the laziness.
I honestly believe that that's only an excuse to take advantage of these Spanish-speaking immigrants because they're very underpaid, they're very exploited, you know, and that's not surprising considering how the PPP operates, because it's never enough for them. As much as they could squeeze workers, as much as they could squeeze
because
consumers,
they're anti-workers.
They're anti-workers. They're anti the average citizen. They're anti-country. They're anti their own country. They're anti-Guyana in general.
The only thing they are pro with is when they could thief.
That's correct.
Exactly.
And I want to mention this. I think you're gonna have to bring on Michael Richmond on your next show, Advancing the Cause, because he's big in sports. But up to last weekend, I think FIBA visited the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall, where about $300 million was spent to rehabilitate the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall, and it's still not finished as yet. But they open it, and FIBA said that this thing is poor, and you still need to get up to the standards of FIBA.
It's not up to the standards.
We've seen them spend $300 million, so it shows that they only spending money because they want to thief it, like you said, and they're not spending it so that it can be up to standard where athletes can benefit from it.
I remember when we were in Linden during the campaign season. I can't remember this guy's name, but he was sitting at Linden Market in horrible condition. One of our veteran athletes. I can't remember his name, but I mean, he should be living with the fact that he was a medalist, an Olympic medalist.
From the time you have an Olympian begging on Facebook for money, for Gatorade,
right?
You know that you're not investing in your own athletes. And then you're going out to make this country look foolish by asking another country for athletes.
But look at that.
Hypocrisy.
We had just the other day, we we don't want to spend money on our athletes who are actually doing the work, all the works. But we gave a man almost $1 billion the other day to do a project. Yeah, remember that story? Man with the sketch up here. And the project can't come off.
The project in not even an aisle, the
project can't even come off yet. I mean, this country in real disarray, you know, real disarray. This country, and look at what's happening with our school children. Operator will play that, but look at what's happening with our school children.
Poor boss. Fam, he's one of them too. Let it come out as for number. Let it come out as for number. As for number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Watch. All these school children coming up to one bus. Still got more to come. Hey, you come too. You come. You're in the bus. You go here.
Big man.
Good. Where's the bus driver? You the driver for the bus, right? You the conductor? Good. And you the driver, right? Good.
This is what the PPP likes. They like an anything goes
those
culture.
are our children.
What happened to the David G buses?
Those are
Good
we
question.
can get to that just now. Those are our children, all doubled up and tripled up in a 15-seater bus, 28 of them.
Yeah.
Now, if something happens, and that is why we had the David G buses, we're only school children and a certain amount. We had no standees in those buses.
No.
All right.
But you know what? This wicked set of people, these corrupt thieves and crooks, they disbanded all the Granger buses. They pull off the name and so off the buses, and they got them fetching nurses and this body and the body and all kind of people, security and all kind of people. And those buses were supposed to have been used for our children. Don't talk about the boats. The boats, they've taken off the names and they're using the boats to do all kinds of things, and they're renting the buses, the boats, and so. But they couldn't take the bicycles, and they couldn't take the bags and
again,
so on.
it's so anti-progress, anti-progressive. You know, any progressive government that is really progressive will invest in their people, will invest in their children, will invest in proper education, proper health care. That is what defines
the necessities
progress.
Of life.
That is what defines a progressive government. And the PPP is so anti-progressive. They're just, what's the word? They're pulling wool over everybody. Well, not everybody.
Not everybody.
A lot of people's eyes with
trying to
shiny things.
Yeah, trying to blindside you with the cash grants and all these different things.
And the one-off cash grant in a year for children,
1.7 billion a day,
without having the supportive investments that benefit the children directly. The amount of children that, the parents didn't have to pay transportation because of the buses that were there, because of the boats that were there, the bicycles, and now it's all taken away. And the parents now got to find back that transportation.
They say we took away the cash grants and
we took away the cash grant.
Yes.
But when you look at it,
which one is more
sustainable? Exactly.
And we know when you put cash grants in a lot of parents' hands,
man, look,
it's not going to the exactly.
We're gonna do nails, and so the children. But I remember Priya said, even if the parent take the money and buy a water tank, the child still benefits. It's what she tell me. Even if they take it and buy a water tank, I mean, this is the school grant. What school grant mean?
If the parent take the money and buy a wig and a dress,
it benefiting.
How it benefiting the child?
Mommy looking nice.
Yeah. Operator, I think you have 2 more clips to play for us. You want to play them for us, and let's take it from there, because this country in a real disarray. We have the one with the police officer. This country in a real disarray. When it's not police suing journalists, is this body suing the body, police getting caught up with we have 2 police officers there, one with some break and enter, I think it is. One is some break and enter,
4th story at the top, I think.
And then one we got a deputy commissioner something. This country in a real disarray.
Thief. Who's the thief?
Look.
There's a thief.
This is the thief.
He's smiling.
So if he is the thief,
who's the police?
Who's the police?
Police playing thief.
But I saw the good doctor from Region 3 took to Facebook to say he needs to leave the country because 90% of the crimes in Region 3.
Wait, name?
Caleb
Cogan.
Adriana grandmother neighbor, something, wherever he was.
Something like that.
I mean,
when family doctor.
The family doctor.
Right.
Yes, so when these things are going to happen, how are we going to have a relationship with the police when the police thieving themselves? I mean, we used to hear that the police just rent out their guns to the bandits. The police just give the bandits their clothes to go and
It
conduct
shows that the
robbery.
promotions that happened the other day, it didn't really help him.
It ends up in effect
It-
for everybody.
No, it can't help because to be promoted, you have to go through a process.
Right.
Exactly.
This was just like the university from IFA there, the certificate that you got. Blam! Collect it. And so we've got to be able to understand when we talk about this country is in disarray. This is all the disarray. We got a senior police officer. There's some allegation made against him. I don't even know what was the allegation.
Karim, what's his name? I think
Karim Bash is the name. Whatever his name. I don't get it with the names. You know, it is crazy. Very, very crazy. But the thing is, Alpha, we're happy to have you on the program. Also, we got we showed our boy what's his name, Devin, just now, because I want them to say, they like to say that we one-sided.
biased.
So just show Devin's face there. Let them see who is Devin. Devin Sayers. And while you're putting up Devin Sayers, could you put up the clips there? Yes, this is Devin Sayers there, former AFC, APN UFC
Member of
Parliament. When it's right, we say it's right, and when it's wrong, we have to say it's wrong.
Mhm.
So this is the MP who was caught there, busted in this minibus with 650 pounds of marijuana. And from some report, I heard that it was he said he was transporting tourism plants.
Tourism plants. So I guess they're tourism.
In the tourism bus.
Yeah, tourism.
And that's all well and good. Tourism bus, tourism plant. Ambulance, sick chicken. So we were
transporting chicken
in the ambulance. So
Right.
the country really in disarray.
Really
And
upside
so
down.
sometimes we have to check some of these government vehicles when we see them going around.
Exactly.
I see, now I see all kind of vehicles got red and blue light flashing like it was
yes.
Christmas.
Mhm.
And they're bolting you off the road and so on. So a lot of these things we got to check it. But here is this police officer who got some craziness happening with he.
Karim Bash.
Here's what happening with Karim Bash. There is
A link.
an allegation to something, from some allegation that he's involved in, and Deputy Commissioner McBean was tasked with writing him or doing an investigation. Something I saw them said he's found guilty of. You see, I want to give him out too much liberty because these policemen. I see one of them sue Big Smith the other day. I ain't want to sue me because if you sue me, what you gonna get? You must be sue. Well, that's whatever you find sue, you can get. But it is so crazy, And this is the young woman, 24 years old. They said 3 suspects are in custody and they're assisting with investigation. But this is just saying to us where the society is at this point. And again, the whole country in disarray. The president name they're calling all kind of foolishness with barrel and all kind of things, shipping and granny something. Granny doing youngster granny and so on. And then we got the young man who's supposed to be sworn in sometime as opposition leader. He was sanctioned, now he's indicted. So the country in real disarray. Now if the US come and collect then who will be what will happen there by it?
Your MPs will have to decide that.
Anti-prayer, you're gonna have to shine some light on this for us.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to tell us what gonna happen there, because if they go with that man, I wonder if that's the reason why they ain't swearing in as opposition leader.
This government, even if you swear in the man, the US come for him, you still have to find somebody to replace him. So
I don't think it's the finding to replace. I think
they just don't want to give him the title.
Maybe. Or maybe they're trying to avoid the embarrassment to say Guyana's opposition
leader indicted.
Who was a close friend who was a close friend of, because they got it, we got
of the government,
who was a close friend of, because that's the vehicle, remember?
Transported
that's
the president.
That Irfan used to use.
Yeah, we get pictures of that
during the recount, and when he was sworn in, that's the vehicle that he was using, that bulletproof vehicle. There are many pictures where they were at the mosque together, where he and First Lady posing as if they're husband and wife.
Yacht.
All kinds of pictures of them on the yacht and so on. But I wonder what happened to me.
Yeah, she didn't even call it at all.
The country in disarray,
Yes. She better stay alive.
Viewers, y'all understand what we facing here? 5 more years
Spawn
from
them.
the hunger can pass. And I know we're coming down to wrap up time, but let me talk about this story. I see them vendors where they got around my big market side and so. I see Priya says she cleaning up the city.
Oh, she's putting out bins and stuff.
Clean the schools first.
That's
Clean
when you
the
know it's
schools
dirty.
Before you talk about cleaning the city, because it's y'all got the city so dirty. Y'all got it
Exactly.
so. Because it's y'all friends and family who just pay the junkies to dump things in them gutters and so on and around the city. All kinds of places. So y'all clean the city.
And then the starving city hall of
Of their resources.
The country in more disarray.
More disarray.
Because City Hall can't do nothing.
But,
Poor
exactly.
Alfred Mentor and the councils there,
And
they
then
can't
they
do
want-
anything.
yeah.
And then they want blame
And then
them
they
too.
want to blame
Exactly.
City Hall.
And then the supporters will think that is the AP and new councillors is not, not doing
what
the
they're
job.
supposed to do. So this whole country in disarray. When we can bring in the Ray, when we can take off the day and leave a Ray. Or when we can take off both and say the country really progressing. Because all I'm seeing is that we building roads.
And we still got traffic jams.
And
So
we
it
still
doesn't-
got traffic jams. And I want to know if the thing reversed now that we could eat roads, because Edgil had said you can't eat roads. Now I would have expected that with all the monies we getting, we can fix the schools. Priya and Sonia, y'all got plenty work to do. Fix the schools. Don't let me touch teachers' quarters yet. Fix the schools.
yeah.
When you finish fixing the schools, Priya, fix Georgetown. And fix every other region in this country, and then we can give you some little claps. Until such time, stop sucking up your teeth, stop harassing people on Facebook when they make critical comments about you, and get on with the work before we got dump you at what the dump site?
Oxenbosch.
Bosch.
Right next to the ministerial
And
complex that
We
they're
living
building.
somewhere up that side too. Somewhere up that side. She moving to some fancy house
blaming
here.
the little people for your shortcomings.
Yeah.
Because it's typical of them. They want to project it onto the teachers, project it onto the nurses. It's always the workers. It giving the pigs an animal farm.
Yeah.
You know, do your work.
Oh,
Take care of the people.
I noticed a
and the
viewer
system.
saying that Karim Bash with some sexual
Misconduct, yes. And the same thing with Matt
Hey, you
Bain.
think they're rampant now in the force? All them little recruits, they're hustling for them with them poor little people, daughters. And all that
Exactly.
It's plenty of them
But
that move from there,
that has been that reportedly, allegedly, because I want to sue me. That has been the culture in the force. Long now, you know, you got to pass it up before you could
pass up. Exactly.
You know,
and you see, like I said, the system is where in this government system, when you do something wrong, they just move you around and they're going to do it somewhere else.
Yes. So it seems as if we are promoting misconduct, and if you misbehave, you get promoted. Kickins do all kind of madness. The man get confirmed even after the retirement age. The man get confirmed. We see them bringing up all kind of other people in the police force. But you know who I like? I like the crime chief who would always tell you an investigation is on its way. He can never comment on anything straight. We are conducting an investigation. You never hear the ending of this investigation and what the investigation would have unearthed. And if anybody is going to be penalized or so, all you would hear, investigations are being conducted.
and most times the buck would stop at the DPP.
Bright boy. He's a bright boy.
Thank you very much, Nick.
He's a bright boy. Nick, yes, thank you. Yes, but I want us to really look at what has been happening, because we only touched on a few things. We ain't touched on all them crazy roads yet. We ain't touched on all them water woes that y'all recognize it in Georgetown. Delon, you live in Georgetown?
Live on the East Bank,
I live on the East Bank, but I'm in Georgetown a lot.
In Georgetown, we don't get water all day now.
I know that.
Yeah. Aware.
I know that.
But
15 years. Let me just say this. About 20 years ago, I used to have to fetch water from LBI to BV, and I feel as though we're getting to that point again because we were under the PPPC government. When I had to do that, we had to fetch from water from LBI to Betterfield in bins.
in Commons Lodge, the folks tell me they ain't getting water.
Yeah.
I went to visit some folks there the other day, and I saw them with pails of water, pails filled with water in the
And you,
at the back
you
of
know
the
what's
house
causing
there.
that? No proper urban development strategy, because all these roads that you're doing, you gotta dig up this place, dig up the place, so you don't know what is
So
where
you're
and where is
breaking
Urban
what.
planning is out the window. There's no
Exactly.
consideration. It's just like you're coming through and you're bulldozing,
Yeah.
you know. And however the systems are affected is like you don't care.
Yeah. And not the companies, the
Utilities.
shareholders are not intertwined. The people that the stakeholders who need to be there to, make this happen.
They don't involve them.
Exactly.
Right. And in any case, even if they involve them, the boards of these institutions are controlled by the people.
Yeah.
So it's easy approval. Oh, yeah, we want to expand this road. Oh, it might affect the drainage. Well,
We're gonna deal with that later.
GWA approve. You know, EPA approve.
Nothing
Nothing
is happening.
is right.
Everything in disarray. Corruption here, corruption there, friends here, friends there. I mean, what are we doing?
You know, you ask the question, when did this can come off and we can get a ray? You know, I want to say it in the camera. It can happen when I vote out PPP from government.
That's the only thing. We were seeing a better life 2015 to 2020.
Way better.
Operator, we got a special video that I want you to show for us. I'm not sure. I know we did look at it, but they got a special video with some people who were complaining bitterly over the weekend. Last weekend they protested.
Oh yes.
Operator, you could find that video for us. Let's show that clip. Some of these people, and I mean, I feel it for them. I really, 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 really feel it for them. Right, I really, really feel the thing for them, But on the flip side of it, they deserve the.
That's what I vote for. I remember,
sorry to say, but
I remember doing a response to the girl who complained about the police coming to drag her brother out the house to the station. And the guy who walked past a PPP rally and said, "You can't trick me," and they arrested him for that.
Yeah.
And she said he was back home, and the police were sent to arrest him and drag him out, and they handled him very, inhumanely. And I responded and I said, "Listen, this is what Guyanese voted for. Y'all know this is how the PPP operates, or maybe y'all don't know, or maybe y'all can't connect the disarray. Y'all can't connect the state of the police force, the state of the education system, the state of the healthcare system. Y'all can't connect any of these pitfalls in the society to the PPP government, right? But at some point, you gotta wake up and get sense. This is what y'all voted for. So you got another 5 years of dealing with it. You got another 5 years of police harassing average citizens. You got another 5 years of dilapidated public facilities. Another 5 years of low wages, of poverty, of inflation. We ain't touch enough for the night.
No.
But another 5 years, God knows what price is going to be like by 2030.
So they voted for the Lamborghini and they voted for cash grab. So
I want to mention something about that, though.
Lamborghini can't help them right now.
I want to mention something about that. In some of our
find that, we'll be happy.
in some of our 1 sec. In some of our strongholds, like in Sophia, they voted for the Lamborghini, but I noted that some persons mentioned on the reserves, a lot of them were given notice to move, right? Because they're building roads from Cemetery Road straight down the reserve. But those people who voted for the Lamborghini. Now the Lamborghini can.
I want the Lamborghini to guard them so by Houston side or on the
or
East
friendship.
But since we're touching on that, let me say that the folks who are living by Lane Avenue, they're East Penitence on the what they call the dam. and all those people who are living on the front road there and still what they call the dam. Y'all better be careful.
Exactly.
Y'all better vote correct when it's local government elections
Exactly.
because out will go you.
Yeah.
The
Because
PPP gonna weed you off
the
us there.
PPP are trying to get Region 4, and once they get Region 4, you're finished and done with. I'm telling you. So you
Y'all
have
better
to
be careful.
very
All
careful.
of those vendors who are selling around the Stabrook Market area and the border market outside there, and so out go you. They will remove you, and they are not going to find anywhere for you. So again, you will be on the breadline. Y'all better be conscious. You made a mistake September 1st. You better don't make the same mistake when the local government elections come. You see, all of those folks who living on Lane Avenue, west from Velt, east from Velt, in them range apartments and so on, and you're not paying up your rates and taxes, you let the PPP get hold of Georgetown. You can see how many of your properties they're going to sell. You see Pontrench Dam where they did the Bolivar there. You think they just do it because they like you? Don't pay up your rates and taxes and let them get hold of Georgetown.
They want to put the people there.
Go all of you because that's prime land now.
That's prime
but
land.
Let's get to this one here that we're talking about.
Thing was issues, problems with the one Bishop Edgell. Now it has grown now to a victimization stage of which we, the party comrades, has been completely pushed out from even this office. Every position that is, and mind you, we've been working for over, some of us they got over 25 years. And I know the party may be disgruntled acts, especially the ones over 25 years, for us to have reparations. Because if you finish with we, it is only fitting to say that we should be given something for the time spent. I ask him that the party leader and others who listen that we have to take this stand. We have to come out bold because until this minute nobody answering the phone. So I hear like the others and we protesting tonight, but after tonight as the days go by until we get answers, we're going to be out here asking for answers to our main questions. And one such that I personally, I putting it out here, have with Edgell, it must be addressed as early as possible. And I am advocating, I and the group that I represent, advocating that Edgell no longer be in the trust.
You see, when we tell them Edgell must go, that Edgell over the edge, they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it. But you see, they themselves feeling the pressure. Imagine their party comrades, and they ain't getting nothing. Much more me and you, Onyx, and the Lord, what happened to me? They can give me anything.
Serious
5 more years.
5 more years from them, Latchman.
5 more years from them, like Latchman saying, 5 more
yes.
years from them. But gentlemen, before we close, the last one we're going to look at. I have seen Priya doing a couple of things. But come on, Priya. The Lapentier Cemetery. It is an embarrassment to us. Every year, the police, the U.S. officers, NYPD officers, they would come to commemorate the death anniversary of their colleague, Mr. Holder. I don't know if operator got a picture to show us. Every year, they, oh my, y'all, it's shame for make them people go into the Lapentier with all them bush what they got down there. Y'all, it's shame. Priya, come on. I promise that I'm going to call your name, but I got to call it. I know you just said, oh, I'm obsessed with you. I'm obsessed with you. I want you to do work. I want you to work.
We want the best for her.
The Prado sprawl often. I want you to work for sitting down there and sprawl off because it's my taxpayers' money paying for that.
Exactly.
My taxpayers' money bought that. It paying for the gas, it paying for the repairs and everything, all the servicing for them big monies while you just go and carry it to tell your friend. Just for change your oil filter is how much thousands. Hey, girl, you gotta work. Come on.
We want you to be better. That's what we
That's the only thing we want. And I've been saying that since 2020.
She never been better election. But I'll take your closing remarks.
We talked a lot about education. I think education is one of those driving force that will elevate any society from anywhere, poor, rich, whatever. It will elevate any society. And I think a lot of emphasis needs to be paid on education, not only to the students, but to the teachers. We haven't been talking a lot about having adequate wages paid to the teachers because of a lot of things. But once teachers are able to get adequate wages and are placed in environments that they know that their students will succeed, you will see the quality of education that we can put out. And we spoke a great lot in the last year about the rate of students passing, and in those areas where a lot is not happening, right? In indigenous communities, most of all. And if we don't put systems in place and put teachers where they can have students come out successful, then we won't see the type of quality student or education we want to see in our CXC and our grade 6 assessment. So I think the government needs to play a more important role in education and the other necessities of life, health care also.
Well,
so
we didn't even touch that.
and we didn't touch that.
Craziness.
But we need
Mothers
to
are dying every 2
day.
minutes when they go there to deliver.
Yeah.
They're dying left, right, and center. You go to some of these state of the
art hospitals,
well, what kind of,
seventh built in the last
HAR, I don't know what kind of heart, but some state of the something.
Yeah.
They don't even have a simple ultrasound machine in some of them. Big opening, and you know what they did? They transferred some of the equipment from here to the next one. So when they do the opening, and the next one, and I mean,
no doctors
a young lady died because they didn't have an oxygen tank. And we talk about state of the art, state of the what? Frank, you need to go home. I can get some people to come and protest in front of the Ministry of Health. You need to go home.
Again, we go back to privatization. So the Friends, Sheriff, General Hospital, and all of those have the equipments
I'm
there.
glad you bring it up because it's part of my closing.
And I will allow you, Delon.
So I want to wrap up with 3 points. 1, workers. Let me break it down in everyday language. I ain't got nothing to forget from this government. Workers. Keep that at the back of your mind.
Till next 5 years.
Local government.
Well, local government too.
Whenever
there is an
if
election,
they do it.
keep that in mind. Don't let the Lamborghini phase you. Don't let the fancy buildings
Cash grants.
phase you, the cash grants phase you. Remember, you're voting for your kitchen table. You're voting for your salary. You're voting for what you're getting that is sustainable.
Yeah.
Right? You ain't voting for a one-time something. So this is the first point. The second point, the privatization issue. A lot of things that we did in government that the PPP threw away was because they're private people. Especially the private sector commission. They know I love to attack them because they're the ones that are leeches on this country. Their hustle, their greed is affected when the public gets anything from the government that the government is obligated to provide for the citizens. Right? Healthcare is a human right. Education is a human right. These are not things that are supposed to be commodified. So that's my second point, right? This government, you give them a chance, all the schools private.
Oh yes.
Our children can't go to school without fees. Give this PPP government a chance. The only reason that they can't do it is because of international accountability when it comes to education. Believe you me, if they got a chance, they can do what Ronald Reagan attempted to do in the US. And thirdly, the vendors. Y'all notice the pattern. The PPP always come in for the small man.
Mm-hmm.
They want to create a monopoly for their people, their rich friends. So they would remove you as much as they can. The vendors give them a chance, they knock down the whole market.
Sheriff Street is still alive.
No public, right?
Sheriff Street.
No public vending. You give the PPP a chance, they would do that. They don't care about anything public. They don't care about the citizens. They don't care about the collective good. Give them a chance. They would create a monopoly so big in this country that all the rest of us get locked out of it. Right? So vendors, keep that in mind every time you go to vote moving forward. And don't vote for the people with the Lamborghini because you know, they ain't gonna do anything much different because they got the same mindset.
Yep.
Their mindset is the same. Giving you handouts, giving you hampers, doing a one deed here, one deed there. That is not how you run a country. Right? You see the VP, and I can close with this. The VP talked about the casino issue, the gambling issue. He painted it like it's a social issue. It's not a social issue for him.
No.
It's a market issue. It's a monopoly issue. It's casino owning friends.
Yep.
Not
Hotels and
making the
casino.
money like they used to because of the small gambling shops that open up. So the small man hustle is a threat to the PPPC. Right? So, guys, if you are a small man in this country, stop voting for the big ones. They don't care about you. They don't. Whether it's the cup or the Lamborghini, they don't care about you. And especially now with the Lamborghini, they're going to pretend like they care so that they could use you. And when they're done and they get back reinstated, that is it. Out goes you. And that's where I will close tonight.
But you notice the Lamborghini man, the Lamborghini party,
You're saying nothing really.
they're not saying a lot. But if you look at their makeup, it's the people who move away from AP and UAFC and over there. So I don't know when they talk about what the former opposition leader used to do. Hey, boy, they ain't got no former opposition leader. We have an opposition
leader.
Exactly. You are not the opposition leader. So the opposition leader.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
still-
Sorry, but I just want to put this in. You know,
right
many
ahead.
times they would add and say, "Oh, the opposition get a problem with maths." When those people that they have in their camp were part of the opposition, and those people sit there and say nothing about it.
Because I figure all of them going for the little handout themselves.
Well, some of them looking a little richer since. No further comment.
You know, I'm seeing Lachman saying education should not be a privilege for the rich.
Exactly.
It must be a promise to every child in Guyana.
That's right.
We owe them more than excuses. We owe them action, dignity, and opportunity. If we fix education,
the latter.
we fix the future of this
The
nation.
latter.
And that is what the PPP don't want. The PPP doesn't want that.
They want
The
uneducated
PPP know
people.
that if you are uneducated, I remember my former colleague Mansard said, they are mentally lazy. So once they keep you mentally lazy, then they're able to control you.
Exactly.
So education for the small man child into priority for them.
Nope.
But hey, Jagbio, you're going to get it right. You're going to get it right. Priya, you're going to get it correct. Sonia, you're going to get it absolutely utmost right.
And
You know?
Priya gonna get that she is a pronoun.
Yes, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it right. Because we will be on your back.
Definitely.
And you're gonna fix it. You're gonna walk the streets with us. All the styles that you're making, you're gonna walk the streets with us. Because you know what? We will rise. We will arouse our people. We're gonna mobilize our people. And when you can't do it right, we're gonna get them to chase you out of the communities when you come to those communities. Because we end up on promise no more. We had 5 years ago. And this next 5 years, we take your stupidness. Anil, who got plenty big words in your mouth, you gonna ball. Because you're gonna fix it, you're gonna get it right. Absolutely.
We're going into the
right.
manifesto.
Don't dig into our manifesto like
We're
some
going into
people-
them because
like
we're gonna
some-
bring up
like some people did who copy wholesale from our manifesto and print it out there. Don't
Yeah.
go, because we know everything that we got there. We will highlight it when you start looking at it.
Correct.
You see, we talked about people-centered and the jump with people-centered. But I like the plantain chips thing though. I like it.
We love it.
Bring out the black pudding. Bring out the cocoa rice. Bring out the dark food. David Granger, take a big up. I love you. Viewers, I know we spent our time, and I'm not sure if Cheryl is on tonight, but viewers, it was good having you here with us. We love you. We always want you to be here with us, because when we come here, we tell you the truth and nothing but the truth, whether it's on our side or whether it's on the other side. But I want to say to you, the 5 years of the coalition was there. This country saw real growth.
That's right.
Real progress.
Yeah.
Real unity. Real Guyana, not what people want to think now. And we understand what our motto says: one people, one nation, one destiny. And y'all talk about we don't promote youths. You see who I had here tonight? Charles Ramsey, all two of them younger than you. So we promoting youth. And Charles, for you, why?
We got a special thing for you. I got a video coming for him.
You can't do what you were supposed to do. That's why you see what they do. Earphone give you somebody to watch over you.
I want to Charles promised me something 4 years ago.
To watch over you. So Charles, you can get it right this time. I don't know why they put Alien mouth by Priya. That's a really bad. I don't know why they put Alien mouth by Priya.
Yeah.
But Priya controls. She makes sure she do it, but she didn't do it all the time. Make sure she do it. But I want to big up my girl Sarah Brown.
Yeah.
Sarah's a fighter. Sarah's a worker, and Sarah will make the indigenous people the real people. Not like how you always flunks them so. But Priya, you got a lot to pay for. The 20 lives that were lost. You got to repent for that, Priya. Those families are still hurting because you haven't telling them nothing up to now. $5 million. You think that could bring back the child's life? Priya, come on. You got 2 children. Remember that, Priya. I am sending no threat, but I want you to understand that the things we do to people will haunt us one of these days. So get it right, Priya. Get it right. Go talk to those people. Go love them up. Go do a couple of things for them. And since I'm closing, let me talk about President's College. You see them children from Region 8 that y'all bring and dump at President's College? That ain't a dumping ground. President's College is not a dumping ground. You just dump the people, children there. You aren't even giving them the kinds of food that they used to eat, the farine and all kind of thing. And then you put them in the mainstream class and got the people, children suffering and they're frustrated. Priya, Sonia, well, it's you now. Sonia, fix it. Get it right. But viewers, we have to go. We have to go. Remember the whole country in disarray. Drugs passing here, drugs passing there. You know, it's all raping passing here, raping passing, some people passing dildo, people getting sanctioned, people getting indicted, some people scratching their head because they know when their name will call. All kind of madness happening in the country in real disarray. But we can fix it because we can keep on your toes. Do take care. Be careful on the roadways. You see these mad drivers we got? Be careful on the roadways. Love you much. May God continue to bless you. And remember, one people, one nation, one destiny. Dylan and Onyx, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to be here again another night because we have
course.
to talk about labor and so on. We got a new Minister of Labor. We've got to talk about that and health, a young, energetic man. And we're going to talk about what are some of the things that would have been affecting labor. But so much for tonight. Get home safely yourselves too. And we'll see you again next week for more on Advancing the Cause. Take care.
Good night.